the challenge, and there are just one or two moments of optimism here for Swansea City as they win a throw-in on the far side. Roberts quickly on again towards Dyer, who breaks towards the edge of the penalty area and through the cover before Laporte, who has been a wall for Manchester City this season, steps across and hammers it into the crowd again.
Anytime there's any sort of a break, it's amazing to see, and it's brilliant from our vantage point. Any young lad who wants to learn about the game, or young lady who wants to learn about the game these days, you need to watch how hard these so-called superstars are working to get back behind the ball. It's absolutely amazing. Driven into them by their winner of a manager in Pep Guardiola. It's about how hard you work without the ball to become a good team, without a shadow of a doubt, and they are good at the moment.
To create those overloads, which is the heart of their game plan, you've got to be on the move all the time. Here is Van der Hoorn for Swansea. A long ball forward now, wide towards the far side. Fulton's the target, and he's taken the ball down brilliantly. Sharrett's inside the penalty area, and the penalty is being given. Andre Mariner makes the decision. It was Connor Roberts who was brought down by a clumsy challenge, and Swansea City here have a wonderful opportunity.
Thoroughly deserved. Another raking crossfield ball by Van der Hoorn. He took it first time, brilliant touch inside Fabian Delph, and Delph went to ground and he missed it, and it's definite penalty. Wow, whoa, excitement now, mate.
Matt Grimes will take the penalty, and to say he is not a regular goal scorer would be a massive understatement. But it's Matt Grimes against Ederson.
I got a feeling you can feel it around the crowd here.
Grimes steps up, left-footed, he does score! And the Liberty Stadium erupts because Swansea City lead Manchester City in the FA Cup quarter-final, and City's hopes of the quadruple are just beginning to creak ever so slightly. Swansea City 1, Manchester City 0.
Well, I have to say that's thoroughly deserved. Man City started really well. Swansea have been growing in it. They are showing us the way they play. They are gaining their style back, and what a crossfield ball. What a touch. And I did say he looks confident, didn't he? He's got a bit of a strange beard, the lad, to be fair. There's no...
Well, so have you.
Yeah, well, I have, yeah, but has he got a moustache with it or not? Who cares? Gets in. What a penalty. He sent him the wrong way and he struck it like Piercy struck his.
Wow. We have a game on here now. Manchester City behind in the FA Cup for the first time this season, looking to respond straight away. Sane inside the penalty area, but he waited on the ball to arrive, and it was cut out by Byers, and Selina again is off and running. Now Dyer infield towards Selina, and Selina looks to clip it over the top to the left, and James, who leaps to keep the ball in play with his shoulder. Mahrez comes across to make the challenge and does well to win the ball, and he's got support as well.
Confidence is flowing through their veins at the minute.
It certainly is. Matt Grimes has not scored since August 2015.
Well, he has now.
What a time.
The Grimes family, congratulations to all of you.
What a time to end that run.
Yeah, but he never looked like he wasn't going to. And that's what you want as a manager. You want your lads to step to the plate. In Graham's programme notes and in the interview with us, what an opportunity for our lads. And really, you got nothing to lose. It's like being thrown in with Muhammad Ali. Can you catch him on the chin? Well, they've just done that. Let's see what a great team where everybody's saying Manchester City are. So we'll see. It's a huge test.
22 minutes played. Swansea 1, Manchester City 0. Asane darts forward down the left-hand side. He was offside a long time before he played the ball in towards Jesus, and it will be a free kick. And somewhere down there, in those swathes of chunky knitwear, stands Pep Guardiola, and he's not a happy man.
Listen, he's a winner. He wants to win. He'll know that there's something not quite right, and I think it's the final pass so far. They've had wonderful opportunities where they normally pick the right ball, they make that pass, and they're probably ahead by now with the opportunities that they've created. But this is the test. And listen, he is nothing but driven, is he? Let's be perfectly honest. The man's sensational, and he needs his team now to step up to the plate, and he's certainly got a strong enough bench. That's normally what I found. The top clubs you play, you might get in front, they might do this, they might do that, but...
No, it's been given away. Here is Mahrez. Jesus inside the penalty area, across the face of goal, and it's beyond everybody, including Sane, and that is an escape for Swansea because they cannot afford to give the ball away in their defensive third.
Well, that's Man City. At the moment they're not doing anything wrong. It's just that final ball again there. Jesus played it half a yard in front of Sane. Normally that's a side foot goal. Here we go, but maybe this could be the day that the Swans have a famous, the young Swans. Is that Cygnets?
The Cygnets,
probably is, yeah, the Cygnets. Oh, there we go. Look at that, mate. The Cygnets might have come of age.
Well, you're listening to Swansea 1, Manchester City 0 in the FA Cup quarter-final, live on Talk Sport with the Sun Football. We live it. As Sane looks to break forward again, it comes back out towards Gundogan on the edge of the penalty area following the earlier challenge made by Grimes, and the shot from Gundogan is high over the top. 24 minutes played. Swansea leading thanks to that penalty from Matt Grimes, earned by Connor Roberts after a clumsy challenge.
Yeah, but earned by brilliant play. Yeah, they worked it in their normal shape, and the right-sided centre-half pings a fantastic crossfield ball. The wide man who's already out there takes a wonderful touch, thoroughly deserved, and let's see what Man City are made of. I did say we needed Harry Potter here to help, but maybe he's here somewhere. Yeah, but what a wonderful game so far, Nigel, isn't it? It's been thoroughly entertaining.
And you get the feeling
it's not
there might be more goals. Yes.
Oh.
The way City are playing, they're trailing, but they have been outstanding at times. But Swansea City, well, they're more than playing their part. They're leading here by 1-0. We'll be down to Lawrence Moore, our touchline man, shortly as Nordveld clears downfield. Headed forward, though, by Kyle Walker. We can see the ball spray off the top of his head as he nodded it forward there. It's still a very damp evening here in southwest Wales. Otamendi plays it wide to this near side. It's behind Mahrez, it's out of play, and it's a throw to Swansea. And here's Lawrence Moore.
Pep Guardiola really unhappy. He's out of his technical area. He was just in consultation with Mikel Arteta, and they've been adjusting the formation. They're not happy with the way Swansea are playing through them and through those gaps, but my goodness, what an effort from the Swansea lads so far.
Thanks, Lawrence. And of course, this Swansea team, without their leading goal scorer, Ollie McBurney, who's scored 10 in 10 since the turn of the calendar year. Of course, Manchester City have scored 61 goals in that time and conceded only 9 now. And of course, they've given so many teams an absolute hammering, but at the moment, they trail here in the FA Cup quarter-final.
Yeah, I can understand what Lawrence is saying, because Swansea haven't been phased by playing them. They probably were at the start. They were a little bit too far off on only the first 5 minutes, but really they're going. You can see what they're doing on the training ground. This is our game plan. This is how we do it. They got lovely young footballers who are moving the ball around sharply and quickly, and to be fair, they are definitely ruffling Man City's feathers, aren't they? And that's what we want to see. It's just so boring if someone wins all the time, but not if you support that team, obviously, but being a Bristol Rovers fan, I don't get that pleasure.
But even if you support Manchester City, you like to be in a game where you are challenged now and again. As they almost give the ball away, City. Laporte with a missed kick on the far side is helped out by Delph, and then Sane does brilliantly to clip the ball in field, and now there's an opportunity for City to break. Bernardo Silva plays it wide to the far side, and Jesus, who will break into the penalty area. David Silva in support now, clips it high in. It took a double deflection, almost fell for Bernardo Silva at the far post. He will now regather, has Mahrez in support, and he's got 2 players for company. Bernardo Silva shuffles in field once again onto his left foot, finds Gundogan. And at the moment, Swansea doing a good job of just forcing City outside the penalty area and taking the pace out of the attack. But now Mahrez will try and bring it forward again. 27 minutes played on Talk Sport. Manchester City trailing here by 1-0.
Very, very well drilled. Very, very diligent work every one of these young lads is doing, and definitely causing Man City problems.
Walker with a ball which bounces through into the 6-yard area, and Nordveld, who made 2 brilliant saves before the penalty, gathers without any real problems.
Well, we've definitely got to flag that up. Absolutely 2 outstanding saves, and I swear on another day that would have been 2 goals. You know, the lad's done brilliantly well, but some strange things are happening at the minute. Walker's just trying to hit a cross from probably 35 yards out. Scuffed it. This is what starts things.
Now Selina finds James cutting in field from the left-hand side, square towards Dyer, back towards Selina! An outstanding goal, and Swansea City lead by 2 goals to 0. And it's Bersant Selina, the former Manchester City academy product, who has scored a quite wonderful goal, and the quadruple hopes are really creaking now. Swansea 2, Manchester City 0.
Can I actually claim that? I did say that Walker's cross, his teammates looked at him and like, what are you doing? And then Swansea carried on. What a breakaway, what a brilliant goal, scored by an ex-Man City player. You never know what's going to happen. If you get a chance to see this one on the telly, beautiful bit of football, very Man City-esque, great first time ball, what a finish. Now we got a game on our hands, I'll tell you, now we have.
We certainly have. Bersant Selina, who scuffed that penalty on Wednesday night, has more than made up for it now, curling the ball high over Edison, and you will not see a better goal at any level of football. And Guardiola is on the pitch as the game restarts. He now apologises to the 4th official, Simon Hooper. And Swansea here lead by 2 goals to 0. Not even the most ardent Swansea City fan would have dreamed they would be in a position like this after 29 minutes. As Selina comes forward again now. He's got wide open spaces on the right-hand side. Charging into them is Connor Roberts. Curls it across the penalty area, and it wasn't too far wide. Before we get the thoughts of Ian Holloway, let's get half-time in the Calcutta Cup match. Russ Hargreaves.
England 31, Scotland 7. Bonus points secured or for Eddie Jones's side. Tries from Jack Knoll, Tom Curry, Joe Launchbury and Johnny May once again. 2 set up with glorious passes out the back of the hand from Elliot Daly and from Henry Slade. But Scotland with a try just before half-time, charged down and running fully 40 metres the hooker Stuart McInerney. Something for the Scots, but England lead at the break 31-7.
Now Bernardo Silva comes forward now, challenged by Grimes. I think the referee, Andre Mariner, may have awarded a free kick, but he's allowed play to continue. Laporte finding Gabriel Jesus, who goes beyond the challenge of Dyer. And it's wide to the far side, and Sane again, who has been far less effective the longer the game has gone on. Half an hour played. Swansea City lead on TalkSport by 2 goals to 0, and deservedly so. Now Mahrez coming forward on this near side. Cuts it back towards Bernardo Silva on the edge of the penalty area. Mahrez once again. But Swansea have every player back here, and everybody is doing their job individually, and as a result, they look a very coherent team.
Yeah, they got everybody back, but everybody's in the right unit. They're not overdoing it. Sometimes you get everybody back and they're right on the toes of the defenders, but there's a good 10-15 paces in between each one of their players, so they got a great block of defence.
Now Sane coming forward again down the left, cuts it in field towards Silva, and it comes to Bernardo Silva, who fires in the shot, and it's turned aside by Nordveld towards this near side. Now Mahrez regathers back towards Walker. A high diagonal ball in. Sane was shaping for the header, but it's Connor Roberts who nods it clear.
Well, this is brilliant for me. I'm sat here, I'm getting paid to talk about this. Some lady in front of me has just grabbed her husband and kissed him after that goalkeeper's made yet another save.
And there's going to be some movement here on the Swansea bench. They may have a problem. We'll go down to Lawrence shortly, and it's Selina who has that problem. Lawrence.
Yeah, they've definitely going to make a substitution here. Billy Reid, the assistant coach, has been calling over a substitute. I can't quite see who it is at the moment, but Selina's down injured. He's going to get some treatment. It was after he made that little burst past 2 players a few moments ago. So whether he's just tweaked something, whether something's gone in his calf maybe, but we'll wait and see who's getting stripped.
Well, from Swansea's point of view, that would be a massive shame for them, because he has been irresistible the longer the first half has gone on, and now it looks as though he'll be making way for Joel Asoro.
On days like this, you need everybody to play out their skin, particularly your goalkeeper, if you're going to do. And how brilliant has Nordveld been? I have never seen anybody grab their husband and kiss them like that over what a goal he's done. It's amazing me.
Well, Osoro will be coming on, the youngster they signed from Sunderland.
He is like lightning as well, by the way.
But he's not scored in 13 games. And now, well, Selina, I think, is keen to come back on, and Osoro is actually putting his tracksuit bottoms back on as well. But City have a corner. Swept into the near post and flicked on and over the top, and his goal kick is being given. And I think Swansea City would be very keen to hear the half-time whistle. They're 12 minutes away from that, leading here by 2 goals to 0 on Talk Sport. A reminder, earlier on today, Watford beating Palace 2-1 in the Premier League. Lots of late goals and drama. Newcastle coming back late to draw 2-2 at Bournemouth, having taken the lead in that game. Leicester, who played 86 minutes with 10 men following the sending off of Harry Maguire, saw Wes Morgan, their other central defender, score the winning goal at Burnley. So another win for Brendan Rodgers, and West Ham came from 3-1 down at home in injury time to beat Huddersfield 4-3. In the Championship as well, TalkSport 2 brought you commentary on the big game of the day. Sheffield United with a massive win at Ellen Road against Leeds United. Norwich are now clear as the leaders. They won at Rotherham by 2 goals to 1, and Villa in the top 6 again, beating Middlesbrough 3-0. Bernardo Silva inside the penalty area, cuts it back, and the ball somehow squirts across the goal line and doesn't go in, and Gabriel Jesus does not know how that ball has not gone in. Swansea there earned some luck.
I do. It wasn't. It hit Norveld on the leg as well. It's unbelievable. The bloke's having one of those days, you know. I'm not saying I haven't seen him enough, so obviously he's good, but at the moment it's almost as if this is, you know, I don't know if there's a sheet of perspex across that goal there. He screwed it on before the game, you know, but everything that they're hitting normally goes in.
The corner again swung in, nodded clear by Van der Horn, but there was nobody anywhere near the ball on the halfway line for Swansea to try and recover. Now Gundogan clips it forward again, and Nordveld, with an exaggerated pose, will allow the ball to drift behind, and it's a goal kick. You're listening to Swansea City 2, Manchester City 0 in the FA Cup quarter-final, live on TalkSport with the Sun Football. We live it, and the Liberty Stadium, which is always a very intimate, atmospheric venue, is absolutely on fire at the moment.
Oh, it's buzzing. I bet this was like just down the road where Wales won their Grand Slam, but I have to say,
oh, Otamendi's almost given the ball away to James, and he nearly did. Andre Mariner thought about giving the free kick for the challenge on James, which was very close to the penalty area, but City escape, and now they could break with David Silva. Terrific ball from him. Jesus has been caught some way off the ball as Sane plays it into the area. Carl Walker popping up in the left wing position, and he was offside, and Gabriel Jesus, I think, has got a problem here.
Yeah, I think he was caught a little bit late there. Luckily, when he's jumped up, he's okay. But it's funny, you know, I don't think I've seen Gundogan hit a pass quite as badly as that all season. You know, on certain days, you need enough of your team to be on their game, and at the moment there's some signs that it's not all flowing. You know, I've been listening and talking all week about, you know, the Champions League and this, but this is what is so wonderful about the FA Cup, because you can still dream, can you? Things like this do happen.
Well, Swansea are dreaming at the moment, but they need to focus. Gabriel Jesus with a quick throw in down the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva breaks into the penalty area, clips it back, but the ball was too firmly hit for Sane. It ricocheted off his collarbone, looped high into the air, and Swansea cleared. 37 minutes played. Swansea City 2, Manchester City 0, and Selina looks to be okay after seemingly set to come off a few moments ago as Delph brings it forward again, finding Sane, and now Gundogan, and Gundogan picks out Bernardo Silva, who loses out, and there's the opportunity here for Swansea to try and break. Selina, those looking for James, who is charging forward at pace, but Selina was eventually challenged by Mahrez, and Gundogan can bring it clear. And City are scared to death of James's pace down this near side.
Well, they're scared to death of everybody's pace, and this is what we spoke about beforehand. If you are dominated by the opposition and their possession, you've got to have counter-attacking skills on your team, and that's what Graham's got. Even losing if he loses Jelena, he's also got Zoro who can run like the wind. So, you know, at the moment, having a lead is exactly what you want. You know, and I know it's tough to get, but for me, there's some signs. You know, at the moment, there's a couple of bad passes and shoulders are being shrugged and arms are throwing up. You don't normally see Man City like that, do you? You don't. So,
well, they do have Aguero and Sterling on the bench, and if it's 2-0 at half-time, we may see them
straight away. But you got to believe, you got to stay calm, you got to keep going. I'm sure Man City will. But what a performance from Swansea, and particularly their keeper at the minute.
But we have to say, as David Silva tries to cross the ball in low, but it was blocked first off him and then Fulton behind for a goal kick. In the opening 20 minutes, Manchester City were absolutely scintillating, but they couldn't score.
It was a matter of time. It looked only a matter of time. 2 brilliant saves from Nordville. And then, fantastic play, great ball in. Delph was beaten. And I said that he probably played there to go and try and dominate the game. Well, he was done by the winger. Cost him. And then the second goal, breakaway goal, absolutely superb. So, stranger things.
Well, it's strange at the moment. With Manchester City trailing by 2 goals to 0. That's not happened too many times this season. But Chelsea, on 2 occasions, including the Carabao Cup final, and Liverpool, are the only sides to keep a clean sheet against them. Sane now attacking the penalty area down the left, cut in field, but Connor Roberts stood firm and blocks the shot, and it spins away on the far side for a throw into Manchester City, trailing here by 2 goals to 0 with 6 minutes to play in the first half on TalkSport 2. We will be live at Molineux at half-time with Mark Saggers, building up as well to our 3rd FA Cup commentary of the day on TalkSport, and that of course is Wolves against Manchester United. Mahrez on the edge of the penalty area, he's given the ball away to James, and very quickly James puts on the afterburners and it's gone beyond Walker, plays it forward down the centre just beyond Routledge, and it's gathered by Ederson.
I tell you what, he looks like he's on one of those travellators in the airport, that boy, you know. Absolutely, you know, you get on there with your case and someone's walking alongside you and you beat them. Well, he looks like he can do that, but
well, Mahrez, he's not known for blistering pace, but he just went away from him then.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, luckily for Man City, Walker managed to catch it.
Well, Swansea have not reached the semi-finals since 1964. They won at Anfield against Liverpool in the quarter-finals that year before losing to Preston at Villa Park, and they will not have a better chance than this for a long time, leading by 2 goals to 0 with 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. It has been an outstanding game of football, and we have seen a penalty and a goal which will be looked at for years and years if Swansea end up winning this game. As a cross in from Kyle Walker on this near side is overhit straight out of play, and it will be a throw in. And Pep Guardiola,
patient.
He is. He's prowling.
He is. He's like
he's coming in off the long run up at half-time, I think.
In Bristol Zoo, we used to have a polar bear. Unfortunately, he went a little bit doolally and he was walking around like that. He was in his cage walking about. He'll have all sorts of things going on in his mind, and this is where someone as brilliant as him will earn his money, because he'll calm him down, say something, make a change, make a substitution. But this could be where the quadruple goes.
Well, it was at Wigan last year when they lost in the FA Cup. That was unexpected. And you look at Swansea's recent form, 2 wins and 5 defeats in 7 games in the Championship. This would be completely unexpected against a Manchester City side who have been so brilliant in 2019, as Routledge has been tumbled by Laporte on the far side, and it's a free kick for Swansea, almost level with the edge of the City penalty area.
Well, what you want, you're on the training ground when you got such a young squad like this, and the club seems to be moving backwards with money and all sorts of things. You see them in training and they get it right. You talk about shape, you talk about where Man City players will be, and you've got to be here, and sometimes they just can't produce it. Well, absolutely inch perfect. That's what they're managing to do at the moment, you know. And so far every Swansea player has done his job, particularly the goalkeeper, and you have to believe things can go to the underdog sometimes. Do I see that yet.
Well, the free kick played high to the far post, and Carter Vickers was rising, and I think he took a ride there on Otamendi. He didn't make contact anyway, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that, you know, there's an awful long way to go. If Man City manage to get a goal, then we'll see. But, you know, what a fantastic cup competition I've been privileged to watch so far. You know, how lucky am I? In the games that I've managed to watch, I covered Man City versus Newport, I covered Newport versus Middlesbrough. Wow, I've seen some games. This is probably beats all of those.
Well, it's been such an attractive game to watch. As a neutral, that is the main thing. And you want the game to be alive for as long as possible. This game certainly is at the moment, with Swansea leading by 2-0 with 90 seconds to play in the first half at the Liberty Stadium on Talk Sport. Don't forget, Wolves against Manchester United. Live and exclusive to national radio here with Sags, Sam and Stuart. Live from Molineux. Asane looks to break into the penalty area. Plenty of pace from him, but Nordveld had taken up a very good starting position, and he swoops on the ball at the feet of the German.
See, normally that would slow down, isn't it? You know, the weather and everything we've had here today, that just skipped through. Even Sane with his blistering pace couldn't quite get on the end of that. But well done to the goalie, his position was spot on again.
Nordveld now goes long and is chested down by Laporte. And Swansea leading by 2-0 without an orthodox centre forward, as James just steps in ahead of Carl Walker and wins it back for Swansea. And Daniel James has been terrific so far, and it really highlights the folly it would have been had they sold him to Leeds for just £8 million.
Yeah, there was a phone call, wasn't it? A phone went down, the phone line went down, who knows? But
you know, you look at, I mean, what's good value? But £8 million for a player like him on current form.
Well, potentially that, you know, he's got unbelievable, untold potential. The goal he scored the other week was, I've never seen anything like it.
In the previous round.
That? He absolutely ran away from people with the ball at his feet. You know, Man City lost one in the summer, didn't they, for a similar price, I think. Sancho, and we're all saying, oh, you know, get our young lads in the team, but I think he's in the right place, playing some brilliant football.
There'll be 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Fulton does well to jab it back to the far side, and Roberts, and now a long ball is played forward again, and Laporte goes straight through Routledge on the far side, pushes him over right in front of the assistant referee. In fairness to Pep Guardiola, he doesn't complain because it's a clear free kick.
Yeah, that's what happens. You get a little bit frustrated. We should be in front, we should be winning. Well, you're not. How are you going to deal with it? And so far, cannot fault Swansea. You know, with everything that is, what they're doing without the ball is so impressive for such a young side. And they are frustrating Man City when they do win it back, like Daniel James did just now. They're composed enough to keep the ball and move it around, whereas a lot of people give it away against Man City.
Van der Hoorn plays the free kick forward. Selina will chase, and Delph was looking for his goalkeeper, and Edison eventually arrives and bowls it out wide to this near side.
Look at Routledge's work rate there, fantastic. Now Walker's in trouble.
Yeah, Walker has to turn and just boom it down the line. It's beyond Mahrez, and Manchester City have given the ball away very cheaply, and Graham Potter applauds the work rate of both Routledge and James to compress that space and force the error, which is the sort of thing that Manchester City have been doing to much better teams all season.
Well, that's exactly what Bristol City managed to do to Man City in a cup competition last season, almost, you know, twice in the home and away. Man City ended up winning, but you know, it is possible, but they're doing it to a T. That's why he must be feeling so chuffed there, not just because of the score. You know, if he was 2 down and he saw his team doing it this well, I'm sure he'd still be chuffed, but this is brilliant, isn't it?
Myers, though, has given the ball away on the edge of his own penalty area. Then he's helped out by Fulton, and it's quickly played forward. Lovely turn by Selina, and Selina keeps his footing, but the referee has blown the half-time whistle with Swansea on the attack, and there is a flashpoint at half-time as well. Selina is currently having a confrontation with Otamendi, and there was a yellow card as well shown to Fabian Delph. Lawrence Mora's down there. Lawrence, what happened there?
Right at the end of the half, just as the whistle was about to blow, Selina fired the ball forward and it smacked into Laporte. Laporte was absolutely furious. Salina went to apologise first of all. Laporte went at him again. To be honest, Laporte's lucky he hasn't been booked. There was a challenge on the far side by Routledge, then another one on the halfway line. He looks like a man who's angry at the moment after that performance.
Thanks, Lawrence. Well, Ian Holloway, Swansea City 2, Manchester City 0. Pick the bones out of that.
Yeah, when can you say that about Manchester City? You know, you do well if it's 0-0 half the time. So you know, absolutely, it's a privilege to have watched it. Massive credit to the goalkeeper, Christopher Nordveld, because Man City have played well. Let's get this straight. Swansea have played better. Fantastic.
Well, thanks to Ian Holloway. What a story we have here at the Liberty Stadium. Half time, it is Swansea City 2, Manchester City 0.
Well, it was magnificent, Ian, and I'll tell you what, we sat sitting here at Molineux in the press box, and downstairs there were gasps when both of those goals went in, particularly the second. And Stuart Pearce, who's with me later on, just turned to me and said if Manchester City had scored that second goal, everybody would be raving about how brilliant they are.
Yeah, well, it's been a privilege to watch this, you know, without their goalie being magnificent. He's made 2 unbelievable saves, really, but they've gradually grown into it, and the second goal, as we're saying, well, it was one, and it's ironic that it's an ex-Man City player. Sags, I mean, the crowd, I've got to try and, there's goosebumps on the back of my neck here, over in Wales today, mate. They've won the Grand Slam, and now Swansea they look like they think they could beat Man City.
Okay, put yourself inside that dressing room, because there's not too much to say, but what do you do now tactically against Manchester City with 45 minutes to go before you make it to a semi-final at Wembley in the FA Cup?
I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd have a nice cup of tea, right? I'd be sat down looking cool as a cucumber and say to my lads, this is what you practice, you're doing it brilliantly, can you do it in the second half? We got to watch out, because they'll bring on Aguero, right? But when he comes on, you've already done it to say, Jesus, can you do it again? Can you keep your focus? Can you keep your concentration? And by the way, all we've got to do is draw this second half 0-0. And that's it.
I was listening earlier on TalkSport 2 as well, and Sheffield United against Leeds, and here Graham Potter doing a magnificent job with Swansea in the Championship. We love the Premier League, but when things like this happen, and some of the games that I've been listening to Matchday Live with today as well, football is absolutely as it should be in the UK right now, isn't it, Ian?
Well, Sags, I love this, right? But if I was a Swansea City fan, I'd be worried to death that Daniel James don't play as well as he's playing, because the big fish come and swallow you up, don't they? I suppose that's life, mate. You know,
it is.
If you're a nice fish in the water, in the sea, a shark comes along and you're a goner. But you know what? They'll be able to say, I was there that day. Do you know what I mean? This cup gives you that. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
You know, if you think of, as you mentioned there, Daniel James. You remember another Welshman who played down that way, Leighton James of the previous generation.
Oh, you're not wrong.
So
brilliant.
The James generation continues right now. What a 45 minutes to come. Ollie, thank you very much indeed. Nigel Adley, Ian Holloway, don't go anywhere at all with that second half to come. Swansea City leading Manchester City by 2-0. We just got the little matter of Manchester United here at Molineux against Wolves still to come. Live nationally, exclusively with us here on Talk Sport. First, let's get all the latest odds. Here's Barry Orr and Betfair.
The Form Zone on Talk Sport with Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Sort that one out, Barry.
Unbelievable, Sags. Can you believe that Swansea were back to 43-1 on the Betfair Exchange before play? They're now 7-5 favourites to go on and beat Man City, who are 17-10. It's 5-2 to draw there. In correct score betting, if you think it's going to stay 2-0, that's a 10-1 chance. A 2-all draw is currently 16-5, or a 3-2 win for Man City, 7-2.
Quite extraordinary. What about matters here at Molineux later too?
Yeah, later on against Wolves against Man United, 18-5 Wolves. It's 5-4 United, 12-5 to draw there. Some odds boost on Betfair. Lukaku to score 2 or more goals was 9-1, is now 11-1. Or Jimenez first goal score was 11-2. Odds boost at 13-2.
Great stuff, Barry. Thank you very much indeed. That's Barry Orr and Betfair and all the latest odds on the 2 cup games. Remember, there's one more game to come tomorrow afternoon with us here. We've had all 4 quarter-finals. Watford enjoying it. Their fans tonight, they beat Palace and they are through to the semi-finals. We'll get more odds, of course, on those semi-finals and everything else to come a little later on. That was Barry Orr and Betfair.
The Form Zone on Talk Sport with Betfair, where gut instinct meets smarts. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Well, the Calcutta Cup, it still really matters for both England and Scotland. Russell Hargreaves.
It does, Sags, and it suddenly got very interesting. England 31, Scotland 19. It was 31-0 to England before half-time with the bonus point secured. McAnally's made it 31-7 at the break. Since then, the Scots have been excellent. Darcy Graham, the wing, darting over in limited space to the left about 5 minutes ago. And a couple of moments ago, number 8, Marcus Bradbury, scything through the England defence, converted by Finn Russell. England back on the attack, but they've had a bit of a cut the backside in the last few minutes. 51 gone. England 31, Scotland 19.
Rugby updates on Talk Sport, brought to you by Premiership Rugby. Buy your tickets for the Gallagher Premiership Rugby Final at Twickenham now at premiershiprugby.com/final.
First half of the Liberty Stadium, it has been magnificent. The name is James, and Manchester City shaken and stirred.
Zana here will try and break into the penalty area. Goes on the outside beyond Connor Roberts. What a brilliant save by Nordfeldt. Headed towards goal by Mahrez. And it's inches wide of the far post. Nordfeldt was brilliant to deny Sane. And Mahrez was very, very unlucky. Grimes steps up, left-footed. He does score! And the Liberty Stadium erupts because Swansea City lead Manchester City in the FA Cup quarter-final. Back towards Selena! An outstanding goal! And Swansea City lead by 2 goals to 0. And it's Bersant Selena, the former Manchester City Academy product, who has scored a quite wonderful goal. The referee has blown the half-time whistle with Swansea on the attack, and there is a flashpoint at half-time as well. Swansea City 2, Manchester City 0. Pick the bones out of that.
The FA Cup on Talk Sport with Sun Football. Pick up the paper for the latest results, news and gossip. We live it.
Someone's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell.
Did you know that winning postcodes are announced every single day with People's Postcode Lottery? Only playing postcodes are entered, so the prizes are always won. It costs just £10 a month to play in all draws. Join in with your postcode to play at postcodelottery.co.uk. PPL manage lotteries on behalf of good causes. Players must be over 16. Terms and conditions apply. Please play responsibly. Be gamble aware.
Someone's knocking at the door.
Oh, I found one of our new Vauxhall Griffin editions.
Yes. What comes as standard?
Standard? Well, alloy wheels, sat-nav, aircon, DAB radio, Bluetooth, smartphone projection and USB connection.
Wow. Is that everything?
Sorry, forgot the colour touchscreen.
Buy a new Griffin edition, Adam, Astra, Corsa or Mocha X Plus and get a whole host of features as standard. The Griffin edition range. All Griffin, no bull. Visit your nearest retailer now. Vauxhall, British brand since 1903. Participating retailers only. Limited units while stocks last.
Got a project of Jurassic proportions? Then try T-Rex tape. All weather, works longer, holds stronger. And now introducing the new T-Rex waterproof tape. With R-Flex technology, T-Rex tapes, ferociously strong. Feel the strength. Available at all good stores or visit trextape.co.uk to find a retailer near you.
You know your funk from your punk, from your Gregorian monk. But do you know your pension options? PensionWise is a service set up by the government to provide free, impartial guidance about your pension pot. If you're over 50, call 0800 144 8944 to book your free telephone or face-to-face appointment. PensionWise. Get to know your options.
It's time. Time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. With stunning HD video, crisp audio, and instant wireless sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Everyone remembers a game-changing Premier League moment. The roar of the crowd, the thrill of the competition, the excitement and anticipation. It's a moment that you'll never forget. Listen to the full-time phone-in on Saturday from 7:30 and share your game-changing Premier League moment on TalkSport with Barclays. Plus, you could win a pair of Premier League tickets to see more game-changing moments throughout the week, thanks to TalkSport and Barclays, celebrating the truly game-changing moments of the Premier League. Go to talksport.com/competition to enter. Terms and conditions apply.
Match Day Live, FA Cup Special.
Squares it and scores!
On Talk Sport.
Well, they just finished putting out the flags, and they're a glittering foil-coloured silver and gold away to our right. The Manchester United fans will be in full voice at the other end as well. It's a slick pitch because the rain is teeming down, but the wind itself has just dropped a little here. This story after the story so far today. Second half to come at the Liberty Stadium, where if you've just joined us, what about this? Swansea City 2, Manchester City 0 at half-time. Ian Holloway and Nigel Adley are there. I mean, all around you guys as well. The fans, these are those moments when you're a fan from a lower division, when you're beating anybody in a division higher than you. As you said, Ollie, before we had the break there, that as a fan now, you still won't believe until that final whistle blows. It will be agony for those fans for 45 minutes.
Well, to be fair, we just said here, if Man City score within a few minutes, they still have to hang on. You know, what you need on a night like this, or an evening like this, you need a couple of things, and funnily enough, we're seeing them. You need your goalie to be outstanding. Yeah. You need some of their players to be slightly off. You need someone to be a hero. Normally, someone who used to play for that club, and we've had that as well. So, but it is, I don't know, something about Wales today. Do you know what I mean? It's a privilege to be here, Nigel, isn't it, mate? It's
absolutely. And of course, we could have extra time here if City scored twice in the second half. So it could be a very long evening here in South Wales. And I look at the Swansea bench, and I do fear for them. If people run out of steam, although they have pace and they have youth on the bench, they don't have the sort of quality that Manchester City have.
I'm going to come back to you in just a moment. There's been another try at Twickenham. Russ Hargreaves.
England 31, Scotland 24, Sag. So from 31-0 to 31-24, 4 tries for the Scots and a bonus point. The conversion is being lined up. If it's banged over in just a second, that would make it 31-26. I've never seen a game turn quite like this. Conversion just wide. Stays 31-24.
Rugby updates on TalkSport, brought to you by Premiership Rugby. Buy your tickets for the Gallagher Premiership Rugby Final at Twickenham now at premiershiprugby.com/final.
One quick word before you're underway, Ollie. That penalty as well, we're talking about that great second goal. That penalty, what nerve, what confidence, what terrific attitude from that young man. That must have been such a big moment for him.
Yeah, but it was the move before that, Sags. Van der Hoorn's crashed the crossfield ball, right? He's hit the winger with it. He took on Delph straight away, and it was a penalty. And then Grimesy steps up, you know, and I'm not kidding you. Nigel's pointing out his lack of goals, and I actually said, by the way he put that down, he grew it. No way was he going to miss that, mate. Yeah. You know, and if you play it back, I said it looks like he's going to score it, because you've got to fancy it, you know. And I've got to say, Swansea looked a bit wobbly in the first 5 minutes, right? And then their goalie made a great save, and now they certainly look like they can believe they can stop Man City doing all 4.
Well, there's been one or two other nights where sides have had to hang on. Some have come away with a draw and a replay. None of that tonight. Extra time, possibly penalties. At the moment, there's 45 minutes between Swansea City and glory on TalkSport. Nigel Adley, all yours.
Thank you, Sags. And there don't look to be any changes made by Manchester City at half-time. It wouldn't have been a huge surprise to see Sterling and Aguero stood there at the start of the second half, but Pep Guardiola has sent out his team and said go again for now.
Yeah, he won't roll those dice yet. What he would have done, it'll be the hairdryer, I'd imagine. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe he would have just said, look, you know, keep doing what we do. But, you know, all I'm saying, I don't think he looked too happy. But maybe a slight tweak in midfield, maybe a little bit of belief come on. It's whether Swansea change, you know? Have they gone to a 3 at the back?
And can Swansea
they haven't.
keep going and keep up this level of performance, leading here by 2 goals to 0. But it's Manchester City in the purple and orange coming forward at the start of the second half with Sane. Cuts in field from the left-hand side. He's got support from Silva, but in the end, Gundogan has to take over. Now Delph, who was booked at the end of the first half following that confrontation inside the centre circle, and it was not a good 45 minutes for Fabian Delph either, the man who gave away the penalty which led to Swansea's first goal on 20 minutes, and then Bersan Salina with that outstanding curling shot to finish a brilliant team move to make it 2-0 just before the half hour. Now an opportunity for Gundogan to play it wide to this near side. Sane again, back towards Gundogan, 25 yards out, early ball into the area, looking for the run of Mahrez, who had made the run from right to left, but it was headed away by Van der Horn. But City continuing to dominate possession in the opening moments of the second half, and a good ball down the line, and it's cut back into the penalty area by Walker, and there's confusion there, and the ball ricochets behind. Lunging in was Gabriel Jesus inside the 6-yard area, and Swansea got away with one.
That's one of those moments that leads to this. If you watch this again, it's unbelievable. That was almost a tackled goal, but there's been a subtle change, right, from Potter. He's actually put James up the middle, and he's put Routledge out on the left, and so he's got Dyer and Routledge as the 2 wide ones, you know. So I believe he's gone with the experience out there now. Now they've got a little bit of a lead to see if those lads can see it home.
Now a long ball down the centre, James is chasing, and it was gathered by Ederson on the edge of the penalty area, and there was confusion there as Gundogan, Laporte and Otamendi all left it, and Ederson was almost beaten to it by James.
How quick is that, Daniel James? I've got to be honest. It looks like he's Dash off of The Incredibles when he starts going.
Well, he is causing problems to Manchester City whenever he is in the vicinity of the ball. 47 minutes played, Swansea leading by 2 goals to 0. Sane has given the ball away with a chest trap on this near side, but David Silva will regather, and City need leadership from him now in the second half as Gundogan plays it forward. Jesus turns and tries to find Silva, but Carter Vickers just plays it safe, booms it long downfield, and it's gathered by Ederson. A reminder of the teams again: Nordvelt in goal for Swansea, Roberts, Van der Horn, Carter Vickers and Fulton, Byers, Grimes, Dyer, Salina, Routledge and James. For City, it is Ederson in goal, Walker, Otamendi, Laporte and Delph the back 4, David Silva, Bernardo Silva and Gundogan in midfield, with Mahrez and Sane either side of Jesus. Sterling and Aguero on the bench, as it's won back now by Salina, who charges forward down the centre. He's got James to the right, and coming forward to the left, he's got the opportunity to play in Routledge, but he goes for goal right-footed, and it's high over the top.
I have to say, I think we're talking about some wonderful attacking players who are grabbing opportunities, but at the minute Fulton has been sensational in front of his 2 centre-halves. He keeps blocking, keeps getting in the way.
Now it's played square again towards David Silva, 25 yards from goal. He picks out Sane inside the penalty area. Sane looks to go beyond Roberts. He does go beyond Roberts, but the cross in is hacked away by Van der Horn, and it will be a throw into City on this near side, and Leroy Sane there just couldn't get the ball out of his feet.
Again, he just needed that little extra touch. It didn't quite happen. We'll say great defending though. They are standing up ever so well.
And Connor Roberts has been outstanding so far. One of the young Welsh players given an opportunity due to the high number of departures at Swansea City since relegation from the Premier League. Mahrez with a low ball in on the far side. It's blocked, and Salina quickly plays it on towards James, and James will go beyond Otamendi for pace. Wide on the far side, no real support. Comes in field beyond Laporte, looks to find Salina, and the challenge comes in eventually from Walker, and it's one back. But there is the danger for Manchester City. If Dan James isolates Otamendi one-on-one, he will go beyond him.
Absolutely frightening. It's what used to happen. That was like a dad playing against his kids at school. He pushed it one side round the other, and Otamendi didn't he ever let him have it. Luckily he played the ball as well, but that's what James has got, absolutely blistering pace. Do you know, I used to be that quick in my dreams.
Correction to what I said earlier, it was Aymeric Laporte who was booked at the end of the first half. But Laporte, who has looked so assured for Manchester City in so many games this season, is not enjoying his evening here up against Selena and James.
Well, who would? At the moment, they're looking fantastic, aren't they? A little bit of confidence comes from, you know, when you're in front. And as I said at the start, this is a no-brainer. You've got a great chance to make a name for yourself. Man City have got all the pressure, but I mean, boy, aren't they doing it well.
The rain now coming down, even heavier than it was in the first half, as Sane comes forward now for City on this near side, the left. Roberts this time doesn't make the challenge, but it's laid back towards Gundogan. Delph finding Sane again, and Swansea have had the opportunity to bring all 11 shirts back behind the ball here. Gundogan with a high ball in. They were looking for the offside flag as Carter Vickers cleared, and then there was a leap into the back of Byers, and the free kick has been given. Gundogan, the player who was penalised, and Manchester City here are just a bit niggly. The body language isn't great.
Yeah, it happens. The pressure's on them. They realise, hang on a minute, you know. And it's not that they're playing that bad. There's just a slight wrong decision every now and again. You know, their players are normally so good. They make 8 out of 10 brilliant decisions. Today it's just not happening. I think he needs to make a change.
Well, Dyer chasing a long ball forward. Laporte heads it in field. Bernardo Silva finding Sane. And now there's an opportunity for Laporte to assess his options further back. 6.5 minutes played in the second half on Talk Sport at the Liberty Stadium. The shock of the FA Cup season, the shock of any season, is on the cards here, with Swansea City leading Manchester City by 2-0. Grimes and Selena the goal scorers in a 9-minute spell just before the half hour, and Manchester City chasing the game here. You wouldn't back against them with the quality they have, particularly as Nordveld, pressurised there by Jesus, hooks it straight out of play. And the City fans behind the goal to our left, they certainly believe they gave their team a rousing reception when they came out for the second half. And they've also been pointing out to Andre Mariner, the referee, that Nordveld is taking longer than he should do over every restart.
Now, I don't think it's going to be long before you see Aguero, and particularly Aguero and Sterling, maybe Foden as well. I think they just need to change it. It's a little bit
static.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not quite the movement that you normally see.
Sterling is heading towards the bench on this near side. Will be down to Lawrence Moura to get news of any changes as and when. We have exclusive national radio commentary coming up of Wolves against Manchester United at the end of this game. Of course, if Manchester City pull level within 90 minutes, we could have extra time and maybe even penalties here. But at the moment they trail by 2-0 with 8 minutes played in the second half. But you just feel if they get one goal, that could turn the tide for them. Delph infield towards Gundogan, who will dart into the penalty area, square again towards Silva, but Byers steps in with an important touch. But now Bernardo Silva plays it wide to the far side, a low cross into the penalty area from Kyle Walker, and it's cleared away by Connor Roberts, and it's a corner to City.
But Byers and Fulton have been magnificent in front of the two centre-halves. Normally that's the space they hurt you. They float in and out of pockets, but you know, it's not easy to do what Swansea are doing, but they're really well practiced at it. They're doing it fantastically well today.
Corners work short. Gundogan scoops it high to the far post, appeals for the offside flag, which doesn't come. The crossing from Sane is blocked, then the shot from Otamendi is blocked, and another shot in from Gundogan is blocked by Carter Vickers, and Swansea again somehow escape, and the crowd all around us on their feet with relief as much as anything else.
Well, that's another couple of blocks that you don't normally see. I think Carter Vickers took that straight in the face.
But he's a big lad.
Well, he's a big lad, but he crashed him on the bugle on his
Here's David Silva coming forward now, infield onto the left foot, but the curling shot blocked again by Carter Vickers, and the youngster on loan from Spurs will be learning a good deal during this game. 54 minutes played, Swansea 2, Manchester City 0 on Talk Sport.
He hasn't even flinched, mate. he cracked him straight in the face. He hasn't even flinched. Well done.
And he's there again to head away across from David Silva, aim for Mahrez, and Swansea here look to break, but they can't get out at the moment. But here is Routledge, but his ball clipped wide to the far side. Aim for James is headed away by Mahrez, but it's into the arms of Nordveld, and Manchester City see Nordveld bowl the ball out again when
they're still playing their game. Look, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They're making Man City work. A lot of teams don't do that. They're making him work to get the ball back. Normally they get it back too easy off you.
And they do have the ball back now. Sane finding Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva will turn. It's Alexander Zinchenko who is coming on.
Now I can understand that. He might move Delph inside, or he might bring Delph off. I can fully understand that. More attacking on the wide area.
Now Gundogan. Raheem Sterling is also getting ready as well, as it's given away by Mahrez, and James will look to use his pace again, kicks the ball out of his feet, and off he goes down the left-hand side, comes in field, and he's found Routledge. There's a man over here if they can work the pass, but it was just behind Dyer. But Dyer now does have support on the overlap from Roberts, and Selina on the ball again, rolling the ball underneath the sole of his boot, and he clips it wide to this near side, and Roberts back in field again now to Byers. Byers finding Selina on the edge of the penalty area. Byers now will look to break beyond Delph, and the ball spins away off Byers behind for a goal kick.
Isn't it wonderful what confidence can do when you see some young lads actually believing in themselves, leading Manchester City, which hardly anybody's done all season, and it's wonderful to see that confidence flowing. If I could bottle it and sell it, I'd be a multi-millionaire, billionaire, mate.
Here's the first change for Manchester City, Lawrence Mora.
First change of the evening for Manchester City, and it's Zinchenko who's making way. Fabian Delph has come off for him, and it's also Raheem Sterling coming on. I think it's there for Leroy Sane who's making his way off as well. So two big changes. Pep Guardiola's rolled the dice.
And he's reshaped this near side, the left, with Sterling coming to the left and Zinchenko behind him as the fullback, and Delph was having one of those nights. Now on the right, there's an opportunity for Carl Walker to bring it forward, and Sterling is completely unmarked, and Gabriel Jesus is offside.
Wow, that's probably the best opportunity there. It looked like Walker had taken too long, and maybe he should have slipped it with the outside of his foot a little bit earlier, but again, that doesn't normally happen. You know, the ball's played at the right time. I think he was just offside, but that would have been a typical Man City goal, because all he had was a square pass on, and Sterling would have scored with his first touch. So well done, linesman.
Van der Hoorn with a long ball forward now, looking to get Laporte back pedalling, but he gets there before Dyer to head the ball clear. And Swansea have rather emptied the midfield, so here is Bernardo Silva with plenty of room to roam. David Silva wide to this near side, the left, and Sterling, who comes in field onto his right foot, left-footed cross though, is blocked by Connor Roberts. Half-hearted appeals for handball from some City fans, but they were really half-hearted, and none of the players were appealing. But here is Sterling again now. 58 minutes played. Swansea leading 2-0, but City turning the screw. Zinchenko down the left-hand side, low cross into the penalty area, and it was well judged and met at the near post by Grimes, who heads it away for a throw-in, which Zinchenko will look to take.
I still feel that the little maverick of Aguero would have been needed. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Jesus is a fantastic player, but Aguero is the absolute epitome of a centre forward for me.
Well, he's got 14 in 14 in the calendar year. Now Sterling, a drifting run from the left-hand side, but he's lost out, and Dyer has got support from Connor Roberts, who tries to clear, but the young Ukrainian Zinchenko closes him down, and the ball rebounds off Zinchenko for a goal kick, and then there's just a bit of a byplay between Roberts and Zinchenko.
Yeah, we don't want to see that, but well done. The young man stood up to him. But Zinchenko's a brilliant player. I didn't realise he's playing left back, but he's a midfield player normally. Wow. And he can play that good at left back. It's putting us all to shame.
Otamendi heads away. It's gathered by Dyer on this near side. Now Roberts. Roberts clips the ball over the top, and Routledge had just clipped the ankles of Laporte. And the free kick has been given. And we have played 59 minutes. And Swansea still lead by a goal to nil, edging closer to the hour mark here on Talk Sport, with Wolves against Manchester United. Only here, coming up at 7:55 with Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce. Sags also live from Molineux. Bernardo Silva plays the ball down the right-hand side, looking for the overlapping Kyle Walker, and he's flagged offside once again. There is going to be a change for Swansea, but before we hear about that, let's go to Twickenham. Russ Hargreaves.
England 31, Scotland 31. Finn Russell's interception and try levelling the scores. Mistake from Owen Farrell. Farrell's late tackle on Graham led to a Greg Laidlaw penalty, which is just missed. That would have put Scots ahead, having been 31-0 down at one point. 9 to go. Calcutta Cup on a knife edge, 31 all.
Wow. What a dramatic day of sport. Thanks, Russ. Let's get news of that Swansea change. Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, first sub for Swansea, and it is the veteran Nathan Dyer who's made way. Joel Asoro's come on, a really quick player. I think they want a little bit of pace. Try and stretch that back line of Manchester City.
And Asoro, signed from Sunderland, yet to score in his 13 games so far in a Swansea white shirt, but has a role to play here down the right-hand side as Selina pops it back towards Byers, and now Roberts. And Swansea have had very little time on the ball in the second half, but it's Manchester City who are chasing the game and are still chasing it. An hour played. Swansea leading 2-0 on Talk Sport. Selina, who looks to be the key man, finds another one. James down the centre. James is in behind Ederson, and James goes down. Ederson with a challenge outside the penalty area, and Andre Mariner says he got the ball, but Swansea quickly have it back. James has to come back to an onside position, and here is Byers. And in fairness to James or any other Swansea players, there were no real complaints.
Yeah, I did think he played the ball, and he needed to. James was causing havoc again, but it's only the way that they're trying to play. They're playing through and trying to play around and through Man City, and well, it's working at the minute.
Carl Walker rising on the far side. Ian Holloway with us on Talk Sport for this game, and it could be a momentous night in the FA Cup and this season unless Manchester City can find at least 2 goals here. Swansea 15th in the Championship, leading by 2 goals to 0. They've not beaten a higher division side in the FA Cup since Portsmouth were the holders in 2009, and Swansea won at Fratton Park. Of course, they had a long spell in the Premier League themselves, and they reached the quarter-finals last season, and they went out rather limply to Tottenham, but it's a very different story here. Gundogan, midway inside the Swansea half, every white shirt behind the ball again as it's worked down the right-hand side. Mahrez this time is onside. He can break into the penalty area, fires it in low, but it takes a deflection and spins behind for a corner.
It's also one of those days that other people will look at this and think, you know, they can be beaten. You know, Bristol City, as I said, they did that to them last season, and they lost a couple of games after, so this is huge. I feel the next 10-15 minutes really important for Manchester City's season.
And Aguero will be on shortly. The corner, though, is swung high to the far post beyond Laporte, and it will spin out of play, and it's a goal kick, and you can sense the relief. It's almost as if the whole Liberty Stadium went... Yeah,
but that's how it is, isn't it? When it's your team, that's how you feel, because you can't help but live and breathe it, can you? And they've had some good times, they've had some bad times, and you know, today is an unbelievable chance for them to be so proud of their new young protégés. Unbelievable.
Final card played by Pep Guardiola, Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, and it's the big one. Here comes Sergio Aguero, 27 goals this season, and replacing Riyad Mahrez. So he stays on. He's going to be playing up front with Gabriel Jesus. We'll see what they've got for the last part of this game.
So Aguero down the centre with Jesus and Sterling very close to him either side. Swansea, of course, without an orthodox centre forward on the field, but leading here by 2 goals to 0. The first half penalty from Matt Grimes, and a quite wonderful goal from Bersan Selina against his former club. And to just show the wildly oscillating fortunes in football, he was pilloried on social media on Wednesday night for that penalty, but he'll be lauded this evening if Swansea win this game.
Yeah, well, he was brave enough to take it. I don't like the way he took it, but you know, he didn't mean to fall over.
James again looking to move forward. Was he caught? Well, he wasn't, but now Selina's coming down the left-hand side, back in towards James. Asoro's waiting. James goes down, and no penalty is given this this time as Ederson swoops on the ball, and on the break again, Swansea City scenting the third goal.
Have you seen Man City's defence look this rickety at all season? This amazing day. Well played, well done. Some great tackles there. Was that Laporte there, or was that Gundogan? Unbelievable.
Goal-saving challenge.
Yeah, everybody's screaming for a penalty. They're a little bit biased, but again, so exciting, isn't it?
64 minutes played. Swansea leading by 2-0 on Talk Sport. Sterling now around the back, looks to drive it in, and Connor Roberts got the challenge in. The final touch was off Sterling, and it's a goal kick. You're listening to Swansea against Manchester City at the FA Cup quarter-final, live on Talk Sport with The Sun Football. Visit thesun.co.uk for all the latest results, news and gossip. Swansea City are 25 minutes away from the semi-final.
Wow. Who thought we'd have said that?
None of us did. Let's be brutally honest. We all thought City would win this game 3-0.
And the rest.
Just shows what we know.
And the rest, mate.
They may still win this game comfortably, but it'll take a story to get there. Now Zinchenko, found by Ederson, brings it forward on this near side. And in the second half, Nordveld has not really had a shot to save.
No. But he earned everything in the first half, didn't he? Earned his corn, so to speak. It was a whole field of corn he must have earned.
Now David Silva, square towards Gundogan. Aguero with that peroxide hair. Jabs it out wide to this near side, and Zinchenko. Now Gundogan once again, a good ball. Wide to this near side, and Sterling, but Zinchenko had stopped running. Sterling looked to play him in, and it's behind for a goal kick, and the Swansea players leave the ball to bobble through towards the ball boy, and they will take all the time they can.
So what happens? Normally they look like they're telepathic, and at the moment today, we're seeing that they're human. But, you know, I'd like to say that Swansea are earning that right. They're covering of each other. Their distances between their right back and their right winger are outstanding.
The rain continues to team down here at the Liberty Stadium. Swansea leading by 2-0. Of course we know Manchester City in the blink of an eye could transform this game, but they're having to work very, very hard to give themselves a foothold as Gundogan clips it over the top again, looking for Aguero, straight out of play. His passing radar has been well off.
Yeah, I haven't ever seen that, to be honest. You know, I know he must have given some passes away in the past, but I've never seen as many in one game from him, you know, and I think it spreads a little bit, you know, as it goes, as one of these days go on, and you know, they haven't had many, have they, since Pep's been there? So Swansea City are going to hope that it continues, but there's a long way to go yet.
We have reached the midpoint of the second half on Talk Sport, and the incredible is still possible. Swansea leading Manchester City by 2-0, but City have dominated possession throughout the second half. As Walker plays it wide to the far side. Sterling now trying his luck over there. Back in field again towards Otamendi. It is almost attack against defence at times. Walker with the cross high into the penalty. Roberts has miskicked it. It'll come to Aguero with the shot. That's blocked. Appeals for handball. And now the shot driven in. And it's a brilliant goal by Bernardo Silva. And Manchester City are back in the cup tie.
What a strike. What a strike. Aguero hit that. I think it's knocked him out. Who's that on the floor? I think it's Van der Hoorn. Well, he's lost his horn at the moment. It's absolutely smashed him in the face. Came back out. Brilliant pass. Outside of the left foot. Bernardo Silva. Wow.
Well, it's Fulton who's down.
Is it Fulton? It's hit him clean in the face.
And that came from a very, very rare error. Connor Roberts missing his kick, and from that moment there was confusion, and City capitalised, and now there is a long way to go in this game.
There you go. Blink of an eye, it can change, but wow, he must have felt that. An Aguero half volley straight in your face, and unfortunately it dropped out. But what we're talking about is the quality of Bernardo Silva there, outside of the left foot. Beautiful. Not if you're, mind you, Mind you, the atmosphere's still going.
Absolutely, but it's mainly the City fans making the noise at the moment. Lawrence Moore, you're on the touchline.
Really interesting thing with the goal from Bernardo there. Just moments before, only a few moments, Pep Guardiola had switched them round. He called Sterling across. He brought swapped wings with Bernardo. He pushed Aguero further out the pitch and Jesus right down the middle. And then, of course, from that goal, just a few minutes later, there's Bernard on the left-hand side with the great finish. So, you know, tactically, Pep got that one absolutely spot on.
And Fulton is coming across towards this near side. He must have just been having thoughts about beating Manchester City in the FA Cup for the second successive season, having been on loan at Wigan from Swansea 12 months ago. But now it is a very different game. Many City fans are whirling their blue and white scarves above their heads. They know they have a role to play as well here. We are inside the final 20 minutes on TalkSport. Swansea 2, Manchester City 1. Roberts was fouled on this near side, but plays on. Had he gone down, I think he'd have got the free kick. Now Fulton back on his feet, clips it over the top, but Laporte steps in. And you can hear the roar from the City fans as they look to try and build. And they will be keen to finish things in 90 minutes if they can. They're that sort of team as Aguero strides forward now, finding Jesus. Aguero on the edge of the penalty area, back in field onto his right foot. Now David Silva. Bernardo Silva drives it in low. It's cut out by Roberts. Bernardo Silva again with the opportunity to try and break into the penalty area, and he's gone around the back, clips it high towards the far post, nodded away though by Van der Horn, and clipped further clear by Grimes. And Swansea will look to break with the pace of Asora, but Zinchenko with an excellent challenge, and Zinchenko very quickly took the throw in, but the assistant has given it the other way.
It's funny, you look at the benches now and who looks calmer and who doesn't. Swansea are looking a bit flustered now. What can I do? Can I help the lads here? But what a game! What a game! It's
been one of the games of the season, isn't it?
Hasn't it? I feel so privileged. I'm not going to say it again. People will be bored of that, but wow.
Now Laporte plays it back towards Ederson. He was caught as well, Laporte, by Asoro, and it will be a free kick, but not from there. And Andre Marida tells Ederson to head it back out towards the byline, and then Laporte takes it from about 15 yards away from where the offence was anyway.
I've got to say, I think Andre's been absolutely brilliant today. He's let the game flow, he's had a part in it.
Made the big decision to give the penalty.
Absolutely, yeah, it was correct as well, but this is how you conduct yourself as a ref. And there's no VAR today, is there? Which is interesting.
No. 18 minutes to play. 2-1 Swansea lead, but the shot is swept in from Sterling on the edge of the penalty area and too high into those City fans, and Bernardo Silva sprints towards them to try and get the ball back.
Well, I think he could have played a side foot pass straight into David Silva there. It's not on his good foot, is it? It's not on his good side, but he'll make a difference coming on.
Swansea are making a change. Here's Lawrence Moore.
It's Declan John who's going to be coming on, and applause all around the stadium as he replaces Jay Fulton, who took a really nasty whack there on the face. So Declan John will go across to left back. So how they'll reconfigure that midfield, I'm not entirely sure. Actually, just a correction on that, actually. That's George Byers that's come off and made way for Declan John.
Well, Declan John, a former Cardiff player, but they'll forgive him that if Swansea win this game. 17 minutes to play. Swansea 2, Manchester City 1. The quadruple dream is still on the knife edge here at the Liberty Stadium.
Those sort of things always are, aren't they? I remember watching Man United do that marvellous treble, and it was all over, really.
They came from behind on a number of occasions.
It was all over. Took off the
It's worked wide to the far side, and Kyle Walker back towards Silva. And now the opportunity for Sterling to try and come in field, but he's forced back towards Otamendi. Zinchenko now down the left-hand side. Bernardo Silva made the sprint to the left, then held his run to stay onside. It's clipped into the penalty area by Jesus, looking for Sterling, but it's beyond him, and it's gathered by Nordveld. Full-time at Twickenham. Here's TalkSport's Russ Hargreaves.
An incredible game. England 38, Scotland 38. England leading 31-0 and cruising. Back came the Scots to 31 all. Sam Johnson, the centre scorer, after brilliant work from Finn Russell, put them ahead on the cusp of a first win at Twickenham in 36 years. Last player of the game, off the bench, George Ford, scores the equalising try and conversion. 38 all. Scotland retain the Calcutta Cup.
Cheers, Ross. Don't forget, Wolves against Manchester United. Exclusive national radio commentary coming up on Talk Sport. At the end of this game, of course, it's a 7:55 kickoff. We have 15 minutes to play here, and we may have extra time if Manchester City score again, and it's 2-2 after 90 minutes. The game has to be decided here this evening. Zinchenko works it in field, and the Swansea fans rather quiet at the moment as their team hold on as
brilliant.
Bernardo Silva links up with Zinchenko, and here is Aguero in a central position wearing the gloves, wide towards the far side again, and Sterling's got Kyle Walker in support, in towards Aguero, and of all people Sergio Aguero comes up with a heavy first touch 8 yards out, and it's gathered by Nordveld.
Again, how many times do you see Sergio have a touch like that? It's so unlike him. Last time I saw it, he missed the sitter, and then he got a hat-trick. So,
well, he's the sort of player who could score a hat-trick here still in the remaining 15 minutes or so, as Ederson clears out to Gundogan on the edge of the penalty area. And now Laporte.
Oh, look at that. Did you see how calm Ederson was there? Honestly, it is unbelievable.
That's why you pay the big bucks.
Yeah, but it's also how they're coached. You know, it's also how they're coached. This is where the space is. I believe this is where it is. I want you to do that. And this team does it over and over again.
14 minutes to play. Swansea lead 2-1. Bernardo Silva with a high ball into the penalty area, and it flicks off the head of Sterling, and it's out of play. And every time a Manchester City move breaks down, the crowd cheer as if Swansea have done something remarkable.
Well, it's edging towards that. And to be honest, they've already done something remarkable anyway. How well they've played and how they deserve to be in the lead at the moment, you know. And I can't believe I was driving down here today going to be able to say that, you know, but they do. I think they've done really well.
Nobody believed the game will still be in the balance at this stage.
Not at all. And for me, I'm being a bit selfish. I'd love an equaliser so we can see some more of it. And I'm sorry, Swansea fans, but listen, that's how I feel. It's been that good a game.
You just get the feeling that if City get back on level terms, they will go on to win the game, maybe even within 90 minutes.
I think Lawrence Moore is just, I don't know what he's signing at me there, but he's shouting. Don't you dare say that, Ollie. I'm sorry, Lawrence, but I'm only being selfish. I'd love to see some extra time on here.
Well, Zinchenko plays it wide towards the far side, and Otamendi. Now Kyle Walker has Sterling, his England teammate, in support. Sterling looks to go to the byline, goes down under the challenge, and a penalty's been given.
Not a penalty, that. He's got that wrong. He's got that wrong. In my opinion, he's got that wrong. That was a good challenge.
Carter Vickers with the challenge, and Manchester City do have the opportunity.
He's got that wrong. Okay, I'll tell you what, if I will be very, very surprised if I re-watch that again tonight and see that is a penalty.
Well, the assistant indicated to Andre Mariner that there was a foul. He's now waving away the Swansea players. Sterling going down, and he was caught by Cameron Carter Vickers.
Good job I didn't say I would eat my hat, because I would be chewing a bit of tweed at the moment.
Well, Sergio Aguero has the opportunity here to bring Manchester City level with 12 minutes to play. It is Aguero against Nordveld, right-footed, he's missed it, no he hasn't, it's in off the goalkeeper, it was off the post and in off Nordveld, and Manchester City have got the equalising goal to much relief among their supporters. They've come from 2 goals down to equalise late on in this game, and that is the mark of a team which will win plenty this season.
Well, there you go, it hit the post, came back out and hit Nordveld on the back. After all the brilliant work he's done, he's got the equaliser. It's unreal. But listen, if this carries on, I won't complain. It's been absolutely great night.
Well, it is 2-2, and Swansea were 12 minutes away from the semi-finals.
Still are.
Well, they still are, yeah, but they were heading through and led in this game for over 40 minutes, and now it's been given away by Nordveld. Sterling plays it forward towards Aguero, threaded back into the penalty area. Sterling now with a shot which is blocked, and Aguero will find Bernardo Silva. What a brilliant block inside the penalty area, and it was Fulton who threw his body between Bernardo Silva in the goal and made the block. Now Aguero threads it back into the penalty area, and Swansea will try and bring it clear. Selina.
What a block. That's probably the best block I think I've ever seen. Unbelievable. He's still limping now. That kid deserves a medal whether they get to Wembley or not. What a block. That goal written all over it, Nigel, didn't it?
Absolutely. 10 minutes to play. 2-2. Manchester City have come from 2 goals down, and the penalty from Aguero coming back off the post, striking Nordveld, and then going back into the net.
And Nordveld did not deserve that, did he? But there you go. We're talking about champions. We're talking about a mindset. We're talking about people who keep going, and they are relentless, aren't they? They are. But Swansea,
they've been relentless in the second half as well. 10 minutes to play. Swansea 2, Manchester City 2. Bernardo Silva comes forward again, and it's cleared inside the penalty area. Fired back in by David Silva, and it was blocked inside the penalty area. And it spins behind off Carter Vickers. There were half-hearted appeals for another penalty, but it's a corner to Manchester City.
Oh, wow, Carter Vickers, not a great block. They're dropping a little bit deep, which is understandable. But it's like waves on the shore. It's like relentless now, isn't it? Relentless pressure.
Well, much better teams than Swansea have crumbled this season.
Oh, I've been so impressed with them. Everything about them, their setup. What a pass that is as well.
Connor Roberts with the ball wide towards the far side. Declan John brings it forward now. Dan James ahead of him, but it's back in field towards Grimes. Now Selina. A reminder, we must have a winner here tonight. It is 2-2. With 9 minutes to play on Talk Sport. Both managers on the edge of the technical area. It has been one of the FA Cup ties of the season. And will Swansea be denied after playing so well to build up a 2-goal lead? Now Roberts on this near side, plays it back towards Nordveld. It was a firmly hit back pass, and Nordveld gives it back to Roberts by the corner flag, who says thanks very much, and then his clearance hits Bernardo Silva and comes back towards Gabriel Jesus, and City have been gifted an opportunity to attack here. Silva back towards Gundogan on the edge of the penalty area, looking for space to create the move, and in the end the pass between Gundogan and David Silva comes to nothing, and it's hacked away by Grimes up to this near side, and it will be a throw-in as Mikel Arteta has words with Pep Guardiola on the edge of the Manchester City technical area.
Oh, Nigel, I'll have to... For me, that wasn't a gift. They forced that mistake. Man City forced that mistake. A lot of clubs would have been too tired to do that now. That's what City want to do. They want to force you to play out, and then they catch you. And I'm just surprised Jesus didn't get a better ball and cross it, because there was Sterling was free in the box.
You're listening to Swansea against Manchester City in the FA Cup quarter-final, live on Talk Sport with The Sun Football. Visit thesun.co.uk for all the latest results, news and gossip. Now Aguero coming forward, streaking into the penalty area. To his right is Sterling. Gabriel Jesus waits inside the penalty area. It's his header, and it's saved by Nordveld. Aguero was there. Unbelievable save by Nordveld on the ground to block with his legs. An incredible double save. And now Zinchenko robs Osoro on the edge of the halfway line, and City come again.
How did he do that? Honestly.
Now an opportunity for Zinchenko. He cuts it back, and it's cleared away, or it should be cleared away by Fulton, and it's straight out of play on this near side, and Guardiola almost collides with a TV camera to try and get the ball back in as quickly as possible.
Well, we lost Gordon Banks a few weeks ago. Everybody was really upset, and he'd be, if he's watching today, he'd be proud of that. What a game this boy's had. I swear that's unreal, that is. How did he keep that out?
Now Bernardo Silva on this near side, plays it back towards Zinchenko, and here is Gundogan, and City here looking to finish things off within 90 minutes. We have 6.5 minutes to play on Talk Sport at the Liberty Stadium. Swansea 2, Manchester City 2. David Silva finding Bernardo Silva down this near side, the left. He will look to go to the byline, fires it across, and Aguero's shot comes off the outside of the post via a deflection, and it's a corner.
Did he save it again? He's got something on that as well.
Now Now Zinchenko plays it in, and it will be cut out. Selina can lead the breakaway. They can play the ball forward, and here is Osoro, and Osoro now is over halfway. 3 defenders back. Osoro looks to go beyond Kyle Walker, and he's done so. Dan James is waiting, but Osoro goes himself, and he drags the effort wide. Via a deflection, and it's a corner to Swansea.
Pep's gone absolutely crazy. Why didn't he play it wide? He's given the ball away on the edge of the box, and it nearly cost him.
Well, there's going to be another Swansea change. Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, another change for Swansea, and coming off is Jay Bolton, who this time, after that incredible block that he did just a few moments ago, coming on his place is Cian Harris, a Wales under-21 international. He's a centre-half, so they'll continue now with that 3 at the back that they're playing.
Cian Harris, wearing number 50, comes on as Swansea
got a chance here.
Have a rare corner. Grimes will take it. High towards that far post, nodded away at the near post well by Kyle Walker. And now there could be the breakaway as Gabriel Jesus releases Sterling. Sterling comes in field, and he's got Jesus in support, and further wide to him to the right hand side is Aguero. Jesus makes the run into the box, and Declan John is there to jabber right foot at the ball and divert it behind for a corner.
I can't believe how excited I am about this game of football. It's absolutely end to end. It's frighteningly good. Wonderful, wonderful game we've got on our hands.
4.5 minutes to play.
So exciting, isn't it? You know what I mean? Deary me. You don't want to see a loser, really. No one deserves.
No, well, someone's going to lose tonight.
Well, yeah, I know that, mate. Don't shout.
But you just get the feeling Manchester City have the taste to finish things now. And it's the corner for them on the far side. And it's an outswinger, high towards the far post. Laporte challenging for it. Roberts wins the first header. The acrobatics from Otamendi, and it's hacked clear towards this near side. And Swansea defending like a team. They were holding on to a lead, but it's 2-2, and they may have 30 extra minutes to play here. Sterling coming forward down the left-hand side now with a burst into the penalty area. Held up though by Carter Vickers. David Silva squared towards Gundogan, and now Kyle Walker, right-footed shot from him is low and just wide.
Oh, he fancied that, didn't he? He has got a strike on him, but wow, when you just said there might be 30 minutes more, I have to say, Satter, I don't fancy Swansea then.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's getting.
If they're going to win this game, they've got to do it in the next 3.5 minutes.
Or just hang on and hope for a penalty shootout.
Yeah.
Because that goalie's on fire. He is on fire. Wow.
Still raining, and it is still relentless excitement here at the Liberty Stadium on Talk Sport.
The rain has not put that goalie's fire out, has it?
No, absolutely
Lord Bell
not.
Is completely. I hope he's bought a lottery ticket, because he'd have won when he gets home. He'd have found out he's won. What a game he's had.
And we still have Wolves against Manchester United to come here on Talk Sport this evening. Exclusive national radio commentary. Fulham against Liverpool is our commentary game tomorrow at 2:15 in the Sunday exclusive, with the final quarter-final, Millwall against Brighton, live on Talk Sport 2. And there, at the moment, you can hear exclusive coverage of the Players' Championship from Sawgrass in Florida. Watford, of course, already through to the semi-finals, beating Palace 2-1 earlier on today. Gabriel Jesus finding Gundogan, and it's wide to the left-hand side, and Bernardo Silva once again. Zinchenko in support, but the cross in, it's met by the head of Aguero, and Sergio Aguero has surely won the game for Manchester City. They have come from 2 goals down to keep their quadruple quest alive, and it's no surprise Aguero is the match winner. 3-2.
Unbelievable, isn't it? What I found at this top level with my Blackpool lads, and I didn't last long enough at Palace to find it out, but I'm sure I would have done, is the subs on the bench make all the difference, you know. And look at that, he's come on, what a cross, what a difference, and broke the hearts of Swansea, you know. But there you go, people are asking about, can they do this, can they do that? For me, they've come through unbelievably hard test today, and it's Sergio Aguero who's done it. What a player he is. What a player.
Well, if he gets the second goal, which of course was the penalty, if he's awarded that, that would be 19 FA Cup goals in 20 games for Sergio Aguero. Frank Lampard holds the record with 25, but his more immediate concern will be that Manchester City may have come through a really stiff test here. And it was a quality finish as well. Very few strikers finish crosses like that.
Oh, he's so accurate, it's unerring, and the ball in was...
Harry's under pressure from Gabriel Jesus, and the youngster just scrapes it away to the far side, and Sterling, who was being booed by the home crowd, they believe he went down rather easily for the penalty which led to the second goal, but now it's a corner for Manchester City.
I'm miles away from it here, and I thought he won it. Do you know what I mean? I actually thought he won it, but if there's contact, you know, I've got to give Andre, I said what a good game he was having, so how can I possibly claim to know from up here? So it's more than that though, isn't it? It's that they didn't panic. Pep's made some substitutions. Get off the pitch, mate.
Yeah, we have a pitch invader at the moment, and we've had too many of those recently. Andre Mariner is just...
Oh, take that!
And now a steward has come from behind the pitch invader with a sort of challenge which would have been appreciated.
Yeah, but how long did he take to catch him?
Yeah, at the Millennium Stadium earlier on today.
What makes people think they can do this now? What is going wrong in the game, man? He should be banned for life. Get out.
Well, he's been escorted across to the area on the far side by about half a dozen stewards, and it's Swansea's time he's wasting. We're into 4 minutes of added time at the end of this game. And that has just provided a slight sour note for Swansea, who've been terrific tonight, but their fans are heading away, and they will be bitterly disappointed. You've never got the game won against Manchester City, but they were 2-1 up with 12 minutes to go, and now they're 3-2 down.
Well, what can you say? It's, you know, was it going to be one of those you need things to keep going for you? The penalty they'll look back at, but Man City, the changes he made, what he did, who he took off, I think he's got everything right, you know, and it was always going to be whether they can hang on, wasn't it? It was always going to be that.
And Swansea have looked to their bench and brought on kids, and Manchester City have looked to their bench and brought on Sterling and Aguero. And that's not just a difference, that's one of many differences.
It's one of the differences, and you know, unfortunately he's taken off Nathan Dyer, who's, you know, he's cracking on a bit, but he's been brilliant. I thought Routledge has been superb, and owners got to realise that senior players teach young ones how to be good. You know, they have got a value. Just because you can't sell them on, it's not about that anymore. You need good leaders out there, and I think Swansea have left themselves too young.
Now Sterling comes across to this near side, and we are 2 minutes into the 4 minutes of added time. Aguero, who has not been given the second goal, it has gone down as a Nordveld own goal. It came back off the post and back in off the goalkeeper, and he's won a free kick following a tired challenge on this near side. And City have the opportunity now to slow the game down themselves.
What a player he is, honestly. Oh, I had the fortune to watch him training a few years ago when he was at Atletico Madrid, and my best mate Gary Penroy said he'll be the best centre forward in the world.
Yeah.
And I can't argue with that. He's not everybody's cup of tea, never used to be. And since Pep's...
You'd have him in your team though, wouldn't you?
Oh, all day long, but since Pep's come, he works off the ball as well as he does with it. I think he's got absolutely everything.
And City have won a corner on this near side, and they are winding down the clock. And what became a very troublesome evening looks to have had a happy ending for Manchester City, as both Jesus and Aguero tumble over on this near side, and a free kick's been given. And City will just happily stay by the corner flag for the rest of the evening. But has what's happened here tonight maybe giving hope to, say, Tottenham in the Champions League and other clubs in the FA Cup and the Premier League?
Well, I think so. They're not invincible. They are really, really good. But you can get at them. You can play your football. There are weaknesses. You know, no one's invincible, are they? You know, the Arsenal team were, you know, but was our league as good then? I'm not so sure it was.
Aguero heads towards the byline again and just knocks it out for a goal kick this time, and Connor Roberts knocks over a television microphone in his eagerness to get the ball, and Nordveld will clear downfield, and Swansea here will look to try and create one final chance. Van der Hoorn is forward, the ball skids off the head of Gundogan, and it will be a throw-in for Swansea down this near side, and Connor Roberts will take it.
Go on, get forward. They've got to put everybody in the box here. Well, put more in the box and ring it.
Roberts with the long throw, headed out
There
towards
we go.
this near side. He will get another chance, Connor Roberts.
Anything can happen if you get that box rung. Right, they got 4 in there. Come on.
Connor Roberts hurls it longer this time, headed up in the air by Zinchenko, who will battle for the ball with Van der Hoorn, and it's poked clear, and Gabriel Jesus will try and clear, but he's given the ball away to Selina.
Put it back in there.
And here is John.
There you go.
Early ball into the
So
penalty
ready.
area, but it's too deep. Bernardo Silva leaves it. Osoro, though, is quick, and he tries to backheel the ball in play, and he can't do so, and it's a throw in to Manchester City, who look to have done enough here.
You see Pep Guardiola, he is absolutely going crazy at Jesus for giving that away. That's the difference, isn't it? Bloke's a winner.
And it's all over, and Manchester City are winners in the end. It has been a real test of their credentials here this evening, trailing Swansea City by 2 goals to 0 at half-time. But the side, seeking the quadruple, really showed their quality, and Sergio Aguero stepped off the bench to send them into the FA Cup semi-finals. It has finished Swansea City 2, Manchester City 3.
What a game, what a noise, what a commentary. Nigel Adderley and Ian Holloway at the Liberty Stadium. Just the first half of your FA Cup double here tonight on Talk Sport with Molineux. And Manchester United, the visitors to Wolves, and kick-off remains with no extra time or penalties to come at 5 minutes to 8. We'll have team news from Sam Matterface. We'll have thoughts from Stuart Pearce. I tell you what, Ian Holloway, there was a saying that a man's true character was revealed in defeat. I thought it was also revealed in victory for Manchester City tonight.
Yeah, Sags, I feel a little bit deflated because I understand the level of performance that Swansea have produced today, but also I'm in awe of Pep Guardiola. I really am. I think he's the real deal. I think he'll be the best I've ever seen by the end of his career. You can't call him that now, but you know, but the level of Swansea's performance today, they deserve something out of the game. Hopefully they'll get that one day. But today, football can be cruel, mate. But someone years ago said to me, "You find your level. It's like water. Water finds its level." And without a shadow of a doubt, Manchester City, their strength in depth, the strength they've got is pretty exceptional. Honestly,
I think as well. I mean, you say that how cruel football can be, but this is a young Swansea City side with a new, young, inspired manager, and they'll be going places one or two of the